I'd like to welcome you to the Black History Month conversation with Rochdale Alexis. So I'd like to introduce you to Lennox Carty, who is a former Taekwondo champion, internationally known poet, a youth worker and social worker, and a well-known member of the Slough community. And Lennox, welcome to a conversation with Rochdale.
Greetings, everybody, our listeners, peace and love.
It's so lovely to be speaking to you again, Lennox. You know how I enjoy our conversations, and I just want to allow our listeners and our viewers to meet with you, to experience who you are, and to enjoy just listening to your story during this month of Black History Month. So let's start, Lennox, from, talking about where this really began, who you are, where it began, how we always seem to talk about your Taekwondo, which for me is, it's about Lennox.
This all started from way back when I was going to school, I wrote poetry in one of my English classes, and the poem that I wrote, I don't remember it right now, but it was good enough to win the W.H. Smith Young Writers Award. So from then, I kind of know that I had a skill, or I was building upon a skill to write poetry. When I came to England in my early teens, I used to run around with a sound system called Exodus in Slough. And being one of the toasters, not as in toast bread, but toasters with a microphone in your hand, I used to chat lyrics over the sound. So I suppose writing the lyrics to chat on the sound gave me a vibe in terms of writing poetry.
Okay, and your poetry has since taken you quite far.
I mean, when I look at the poets who were around or who started in this race, let me say, you have Mikey Smith, Louise Bennett, Valerie Bloom, Foston Charles, Benjamin Zephaniah. These is people who inspire me. And then working with the sound system and buying dub records every weekend, listening to what the Jamaican recording artists were saying. Again, this was more fire for me, and it inspired me to a level where I want to step up in that arena, So I started to write poetry.
Okay. So then, after winning the competition, after being, someone who did a lot of dub poetry, where next did it take you?
I remember I was on one of them tour ships going to Sweden. And it was one of the first time I performed in front of a big white audience on a boat, And the reception I got was wicked. It really inspired me, and it made me feel, yes, I want to be out there. Okay. So when I came back to England, I took my writing more serious. Like back in the early 80s, the GLC, they had programs all around London, and I was invited to perform on those programs. And on that journey is where I first met Benjamin Zephaniah. The two of us headline programs back in the day. And it just continued to build from there. I travel to Africa and I perform my work in Africa. I travel to the Caribbean I perform my work in the Caribbean. I traveled to, I can't remember now, the Bahamas.
Okay.
And I perform my work in the Bahamas. And, you know, again, the people just love what I had to say and how I was saying what I had to say. My poetry is serious.
Nice.
You know?
So are you going to read an extract of one of your early poetries for me? Or at some point during our conversation, we'll be hearing some poetry.
Sure.
I am sure.
Sure. I mean, when I started to take my writing more serious, I began to get invitations to go into schools and run creative writing workshops for young people. Now, I wasn't too sure what the schools were looking at the time. But then when I got more into it, one of the schools had an issue with bullying. So they invited me to come in and do an assembly. And from the assembly, then I worked across a year group looking at bullying. And it's like, I felt I needed to take something into the school that the children could relate to. So I wrote, hey, Mr. Bully, don't bully me because I don't like the pain and hurt you cause me. Hey, Mrs. Bully, don't bully me because I don't like the pain and hurt you cause me. You pull my hair and you make me cry. You make me feel like I want to die. You always cheat. You always lie. Now I want to know the reason why. Hey, Mr. Bully, don't bully me because I don't like the pain and hurt you cause me. Hey, Mrs. Bully, you know, so when I start chat that now, the children, the youth them sharp. So them just latch on to the little rhythm there and complete time. I could hear them going down the corridor singing, hey, Mr. Bully, don't bully me. And it made me laugh, you know, and I thought, yes, the penny drop here, you know. So I continue to work and look at what I was going to take into the schools when the teachers them asked me to come.
And you have done quite a bit through schools as well. You've been to many schools. You've done many projects with children and young people.
Yes, I want to big up Eastside Education Arts, and I want to big up Apple and Snakes because them people there, you know, they gave me a lot of work and they put me on a platform that really made me look at my creativity in terms of my writing and development. So every time now the school them call me, yeah, I can come up with the subject matter and write poems and ready to deliver and inspire the youth them, you know.
Very nice.
A lot of my writing came about because in the early 80s, the rap scene in America was taking off and there was a lot of negativity. I can understand where those brothers were coming from because of the environment that they were living in. So, you know, you're gonna talk about the environment that you're living in if you don't know nothing different. You know, and this is one of the main things with my Taekwondo, you know, having the opportunity to travel and visit countries that I read and learned about in school. But going to those places now, I can see things for myself. So when I come away, I can write poems that the children from those countries can relate to, you know?
Nice. So from there, tell me about what, you know, the month of Black History Month. Tell me about your poetry, your work, you know, what sort of message does, every time you hear the word Black History Month, what does it mean for you?
You see, Black History Month come about because every other country, nation have something special to celebrate. And we, same way, we have historians, we have creators and inventors, but the history books never really share that with the wider community, the world. So when I see, you know, what is being taught in schools and what I was taught, you know, I feel I want to contribute to that. So my contribution is poetry. And, you know, when we talk about Black history, you know, people have to understand what happened, where it went wrong, and how we can start to turn it around. So I write poems linked into slavery because I feel before slavery, there was an Africa, there was a wider world.
Yes.
But for some reason, those early explorers who went out decided to cover it up, tell lies, fabricate it, and make it look something totally different. Now, if you read certain books, those books will tell it how it is. Those books will inspire. So I'm saying to the youth them out there right now, read, go to the library, you know, research, use the internet, use it properly. Because most of what you want to find, you will find it on the internet. And when I start to research, you know, when I look at slavery and how slavery was taught to me in England, when I went back to the Caribbean in '76, and I started to go school down there for 2.5 years, I learned the history of the Caribbean islands. And when we talk about history and historian, the one word, but it's spelled different, the same way. Now, okay? History is talking about the story of man and the creation of man. His story is an individual, yeah? So when I start to write and I look into slavery and I see how slavery changed Africa and the Caribbean and the Americas, I then start to write a poem like, this time I do upon the sound system as well. So, you know, I have dub plate around all the while and it's, them reach Africa, then Asia, a little after that I say them reach America, them cross the ocean, them conquer the equator. Jamana say me talking about the explorer, them kill and them rape and them murder. Me tell them man say them mash up Africa, them get in with them ship say them sail across the sea, them fool black people with a lot of mockery, them beat with them take away with identity. Now Africa is riddled with poor countries, you know, and yeah man, they just ride out them rhythm there, you know, and tell the truth, tell it how it is, tell it just what happened. You know, so when I go into school and I'm running that kind of lyric, the youth them don't catch on to it already, so them want come with the same style and yeah, we just sit down and everybody get creative, you know, and the teachers them shocked now because them try it, but them couldn't do it. And the children mess around in the class, cause problems in the class. When I go in, none of that happen. The youth them sit down and them respect me. The youth them sit down and them listen, you know?
That's really good to hear. So let's talk about your youth work.
Youth work, well, you see, what I recognize growing up, in Slough, we don't have a community center or a base. Now, at the time, there was an Orchard Youth Club. And, you know, as a youth growing up, I was in and out of that club there. And the majority of people who grew up in Slough can and will talk about the time they spent at the Orchard. We had different managers come and them never really had, let me say, the community at heart. And for me, you know, I'm passionate about my people. I love my people, you know? So I decided I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna study, and I come out of there with a qualification, youth and community. And being a youth and community worker, you get to know the people in the community. And when you get to know the people in the community, you know, they also get to know you and what you're about. And when you bring the people in with the skills, and then you bring the children in to work with those people, you find a relationship start to develop. And this relationship is built on trust, love, and respect. You know, because if you don't have those three things in your life, you know, for some reason you're gonna fall short. For me, it's important that people love me, people respect me, you know, and people trust me. I don't have no agenda. You know, how you see me is how I be. You know, and what the people see over the years, you know, I don't change. People who know me always say, Lennox, you don't change. What me have to change for? Who me have to change for? Eh? No, man. Left it how it is, you know? people see me, them know me. So right now, my role was to support and work with the community and give the young people something what they want, you know?
Very good to hear. So now, as a social worker and an international poet, when you put the two together, you're giving so much to the community. Tell me a little bit about that area.
You see, social work, all right. When I look at families, you know, a lot of people don't have a family.
Mm-hmm.
And for one reason or another, you know, you have a lot of disjoint, breakup, argument. And some of these arguments is trivial.
Mm-hmm.
But when we take them on, you know, it get personal. In a relationship, when two people arguing, somebody gonna walk. Relationship mash up. If it's a marriage, the divorce gonna soon come. And we don't always look at what is left behind. When I say what is left behind, is children in a relationship suffer. Because I know growing up with my mother and my father, the influence they had on me. And the teaching they gave me, you know, helped me to be the man that I am today. In a single parent family, you know, where in most cases the mother, the woman is left with the children, you know, it's like she have to work, she have to get the children to school, she have to work 2 jobs, maybe 3 jobs. So before we know it now, the child or the children is home alone. Are them with a friend? Are them with a neighbor? And it's like that mother don't know what's happening with her child or children in the space and time when she's working. The father, he might be out there running down another woman. He might be out there enjoying himself. Yes, he knows he's got children or a child, but he's not taking the responsibility as a man to go look for the child and guide the child. Yeah, so me as a social worker now, I step in and, you know, I give that support. I build relationships with the children so that they can trust me, because when them trust me now, they're gonna listen to me.
Yes.
You know, and from them start to listen to me, I'm not gonna be telling those children anything wrong other than educate yourself. You know, look at your circumstances and make sure when you get a certain age, you know, you can stand on your own 2 feet. So I'm teaching them basic living skills, you know, budgeting. You know, sooner or later them go on left home. So to leave home, it means you have to have a job. But if you don't have good qualifications, you're not gonna get the job. It's a struggle. So I don't want the youth that I work with to continue in that struggle. So we set them up, try to set them up right, you know, and give them the right teachings, the right inspiration, you know, encourage them, get them to mingle and mix in different circles. Because mixing in different circles, yes, if you're conscious, but if you're not conscious, you might get in the wrong circle and you're gonna do the negative things, and you don't understand. Yeah?
Of course, of course.
For me, you know, it's like being an addition to the family, a stepfather. Take it where you want it, you know. But for me, I want to see the youth them grow up, not in a jail, not run down by police, you know. Cause I never come that way. I know people who went that way. Some of my very close friends, you understand? But it wasn't for me, you know. So in my work, I try to guide the youth them and give them consciousness, you know.
The words that I would to use to describe you, Lennox, right? The 3 words that I keep hearing you mention, and I would refer to you as, is with love, respect, and trust.
Yeah, man.
And everything that you seem to do, whether it's through your Taekwondo and your Taekwondo training, which teaches you respect, whether it's to do with the way that you communicate with the children in the schools, where it's all about respect, trust, and love, and whether it's to do with, whether it's to do with your social work or whether it's your youth work, those three things just, you slice Lennox and you'll get love, respect, and trust.
Sis,
So,
look here.
it's lovely to hear, because everything that I get from you, that's who you, for me, that's who you are. So it's really, really lovely to be able to sit here and listen to you and speak to you, and I'm sure the community within Slough, we've got somebody in you that we've got somebody that we're proud of, really proud of. And one, my aunt always says, don't wait for her to pass before we give her flowers. So this is me giving you your flowers.
True. Look here, sis. It's like when I started doing Taekwondo, when I was about 6 years old, coming home from school, I was walking through an alleyway, and people who know the alleyway is down the park in Slough. And as I'm walking through the alleyway, I see two white boys coming towards me, riding bicycle. And at first I didn't really think nothing of it. But as I could see, as I'm checking the speed and how the bicycle coming, the bicycle lane looked like it's slowing up. So I'm starting to think now, maybe I just need to move out of the way and make the two of them pass. Even if the one who's on my side get close enough, I would have just lean against the fence and make them pass. So when I check how they're coming now, I'm seeing them brother, them ain't looking to stop. The guy closest to me pulled the brakes on the bicycle and hark and spit in my face. I was 6 years old them time there. And the boy started to laugh. And look here, even right now, I'm telling you, I'm feeling that. That hurt me because I never know these people. I never see them before. So how can, just out of the blue, you just take it upon yourself to want to come spit upon me? That's saying something. So yes. I decided, I don't want to get put in positions like that in England. So that's when my martial arts start coming, you know what I mean? And I want to protect myself, I want to defend myself, So I went around many of the martial art clubs, and until I found the one that I like, my spirit tech, Taekwondo is my sport, So I stopped playing football because I see how the white boy them drop it on the football pitch. I listen to how them parents standing on the sideline carry on and behave. I don't want to be in that environment. So I take myself out of it. Taekwondo is a full contact sport, and learning the discipline of the art. It humbled me because now I don't have to show off. I see people who can't fight, but them a show off. Them a big up themselves, And when I look upon them, I'm just thinking, okay, cool, that's how you stay.
Mm-hmm.
Arm's length. Yeah, arm's length. Me now make you come in on my circle. So when I start to travel now, when I win the nationals and became the national champion, it gave me the opportunity to travel, and I go abroad, and I participate in tournaments abroad, and I'm meeting over 500 of the top martial artists, and the respect and the love that you receive, there ain't words to express it, So for me, I decided, choose my company very carefully. Yeah, people who love me, then I'm gonna mix with the people who love me. You know, people who respect me, I'm gonna mix with the people who respect me. You understand? Because when that love and that respect is coming in, you feel relaxed. You know, you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to fear because there's no need. It's not there. You know? So in my life, you know, I move with people who is like-minded. You know, that's how life is. You know, we choose and we pick the posse group, the individual, because we get something from one another. You know, and look here, everybody can show love, everybody can show respect. You understand? Because we do it every day. But it's only when we get taken out of the zone, you know, and we get the rush that we're gonna see the other side. Yeah.
So to this day, you still train in Taekwondo?
Yeah, man, have to keep myself, look here, you know, see them have some coronavirus business out there, I have to keep myself fit for that from me go attack my body and make me get sick and starve me up. Can't happen. Can't happen. Eh?
I like that. I like that. I like that. And of course, the ITAL food, right? The ITAL
with
food
all
as
of
well.
that, you know, with all of that come proper eating, right? And me as a man, I don't eat everything. You know, I'm very careful about the food that I eat. And most time, the food I eat is prepared here in my yard. So I know what's going in it, and I know what's going in me. That's important. You know, the poetry that I reflect, you know, the poetry that I write can reflect that. You know, there's a poem like 10 green bottles hanging on the wall. Well, I say 10 green pumpkin hanging on a vine. One was picked for Halloween, then there was 9. 9 red potatoes burning. You understand? So I'm going to school and I give the youth them a vibe. Yeah, but it's not only the food that I'm dealing with now, you know? I'm taking that poem and I'm getting those children to add and subtract, multiply.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, so poetry can be added in education, maths, English, science, geography, wherever you want it. It's just how you express it. You know, I write for adults and I write for young children. And the type of poem I would write for the young children is like, I was sitting under the shade of a tree when a lizard poked out his tongue at me. I said, hey lizard, me know you ain't friend, but the lizard poked out his tongue again. He rolled his eyes, he looked at me. He jumped from a leaf down on the branch, pushed up himself in a militant stance, rolled his eyes and looked up at me, poke out his tongue and run back up the tree. You know, it's little poems like that I write for the children, them, and the children love those poems.
That is just so cool. That's so good. That is really, really good, honestly. So, you know, Lennox, what would you, in terms of looking forward to the future for our young people, what would you want to see for them right now?
In life, we all have to struggle. And with struggle comes education. So, you know, all of we make the struggle a little bit easier. You know, have better or more opportunities for our Black youth. The stigma that's attached need to be taken away. And the only way it can be taken away is people like yourself who's doing what you're doing. You know, people like me who's doing what I'm doing. You know, we need to be encouraged to write because everybody have a story to tell. You know, too much of our elders has passed away with stories, knowledge, aspects of history that should have been recorded, never get recorded. Well, this is the time to do it now. You know,
yes.
I mean, when I look at the Black Lives Matters, you know, when we need to go back let's go back to when Martin Luther King had his I Had a Dream. Yeah? In the crowd of people was white people who were supporting black people. But there were also some who come there to mash it up. And when we look at the George Floyd, you know, right now you have the same thing, a different time, but the same thing. And it's good because some positive has come out of it. The negative story behind some of them man them who them big up, put up statue. The real statues need to go up now. Eh? Yes. The creators and inventors now need to go up. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So when them lick one and two of them in the river, you know, yeah man, make a stance. Now take them out and put them where they're supposed to be, but put them and make the people know who these people really were. So what I'm saying is the history books need to be rewritten. Yeah. The story that has been told now need to be changed. And more creators and inventors, black creators and inventors, now need to be visible in schools. The children need to get it from preschool. You understand? Mm-hmm. Not secondary school. Secondary school, you're talking about a teenager who might be already influenced by his parents, the community, the friends, the people that he's associating or she's associating with. You understand? Mm-hmm. They need to come from preschool. Come up.
Yeah, so we need to get them educated from early.
Yes. And, you know, we need more black authors. You know, the publishing companies out there right now, you know, they need to look at what black people are saying, you know, because I've tried to get my work published. And if it wasn't for Boglan Overture Publications in Ealing, you know, I may not have had the opportunity to get my work published, you know. So we need more people approaching the publishing companies with works, because sooner or later them can't shut the door upon me anymore. Them doors have to open up. You know, it's serious.
It's very true, very true. We just got to find a way of getting those doors opened. But then we need to start thinking about setting up our own publishing organizations. We need to have media. We need to have outlets.
Yeah, but you see, again, when you look at how this COVID thing got the world right now, it's very difficult for publishing companies to kick off. And because everything is, you know, about money, you know, these people gonna need money to keep their businesses running and functioning. And the poor person who may not have a job or may be on the verge of losing a job can't go approach these people because these people may want a set price, and if you don't have the money, oh, you can, you know? Even if you talk about self-publishing, you know, you have to get somebody to help you start that process. That person ain't gonna want to do it for nothing. So, yes. You know, it's a tricky situation, you know, but yeah, the opportunity is there, so we can go for it, you know, if you have the money. Mm-hmm. If you don't have the money, you have to cool out, you know?
So what's going to be next for Lennox then?
Me, right now, I'm just now working on a track, looking at racism in football. And it's a shame because the football ground them get shut down, so I can't get the video footage that I was looking for to promote this video. But more time, you know, yeah, it's called Kick It Out. And the message is strong, you know, because look here, wherever you go, as long as there's a football, boys, girls now is encouraged to kick it. And because work, some youth ain't educationally sound, but when it comes to football, them Chris. So the football skills that they have, you know, get them in a club. From them getting a club, them get scout. From them get scout, them end up coming up in the first division. From you make it in the first division, people across the world is looking at you when your team play. So football will inspire.
Mm-hmm.
But what we don't realize now is not just white boys, white girls. We got Asian, Black, African, you know, wherever a football is, a color skin gonna kick the ball. And if the ball give the youth the vibe, then that youth is gonna excel and keep climbing, you know? And from them keep climbing, what you say, the world is the oyster, you know? So yeah, you know, trust me, we can't do without Black people playing football. We can't do without Black people in the British team, athletics team. We can't do without football, rugby, boxing, wrestling. Trust me, everything, because it's a universal thing we're dealing with, you know? So people, mind and attitude now need to change, because we're not go away. We're here to stay, you know? And for those who have set the pavement, set the road, those are the inspiration, those are the role models, those are the leaders that we're gonna follow. You know how much people want to run like Usain Bolt? Eh? Those who can't run, you know, see them a pose up. Eh? Trust me. Trust me, man.
So
you know?
true. That's so true. That is
this
so
is how the world
true.
is, you know? Usain Bolt one come with that and everybody panic now. You know, and when you look at athletics on TV, you know, everybody trying to make themselves look a different way. You understand? That is how it is. You know, you can't take them things out, because those people have come and they've done what they were supposed to do, and now they inspire. And to inspire is to raise up. You know? Yeah, man. But I always tell you them, you know, look, you're gonna reach to the top, but who are you and what are you gonna do when the time comes for you to step down, step back? You know, because look, this is evolution, you know. The world is evolving. And with the world evolving comes people evolution. You know, so this is what I'm talking about, the changes. You know, when we look back in writing, you see how Shakespeare drop it. You see how Shelley and Keats drop it. Wilfred Owen drop it. You understand? We look at Linton crazy. I remember when Linton, as a youth, going down Labrador Grove and hearing Linton chat down there, and he's telling you England is a bitch. Eh? What? England is a bitch. But yeah, when you look on where Linton coming from now, yeah, you can see where the bitchiness come from in England, you know? So yeah, man, tell it how it is. You know, the youth, them, from them get the inspiration, they will follow. It's important. We set marks, we set markers, we set boundaries. Yeah, man, step up to the mark. You know, I do that all the time. You know, in my writing, you know, in my generation, you know, we have people like Zena Edwards, Kat Francois, Malika Booker, Adisa, Tugstar, Crisis, Anamwa, anyway, the God, Len Cisse, Benjamin Zephaniah. Them is the people I know. You know, them is the people I work with, walk shoulder to shoulder with in this time. You know, I don't see them every day, but I know they're out there. You know? So they have taken the baton and they're ready to pass it on. You know, this is what's got to happen. It's like a relay race, isn't it? You know, you come set a record, The next set of youth come, them have to broke the record. You broke the record, another set of youth come, them have broke the record. And so it go. You know, when I did my martial arts, me as a color belt, beat the national champion, knock him out. But them see me as a color belt and they never see me as the man that I was at the time. You know? But it's cool. You know, I ain't make no noise. I ain't big up myself. I ain't run around going crazy. I just keep it quiet. And then I go train. Because I know me that the national champion gonna come back again. But when him come, I have to make sure I lick him, beat him. Yeah? Let's get it right. You know, we have to fight, we have to struggle. Every day is a fight. Every day is a struggle. Make no mistake. You know, this life ain't no bed of roses. Yeah? So we have to make life for ourselves. You know, I look when this pandemic thing kick in from February, and the amount of people who freaking out, gone mad and can't, you understand? You have to look in at yourself. You know, find the peace within you, because when you find it, it will come out. You know, I sit down and I write. And when I look at what was happening across the world, it give me fire in my belly. I start write again. You understand? So where people get stopped and them get blocked, I start to get creative. You know, I sit down in my yard and move my chairs and I can stretch, I can kick up my foot, I can train my body, train my mind. Some people, all them just have is work in their life. And from them have that, when you take that away from them can't see nothing else. So them have to turn mad. Them have to turn mad because them can't express and them can't go into the creativity side of their mind. You understand? Yeah, man.
So nice to hear you talk. But just before we part company today, just for today, I really want you to be able to read or recite to me one of your poems, because I just like to hear you read. So you always have to recite a poem for me. That's one thing I can guarantee you'll never get away from not doing for me, is reciting a poem.
All right. I'm going to try a thing here. Yeah? You know, when the civil rights movement was happening in America, and Rosa Parks, you know, Rosa Parks, me love that woman. You know, she inspired me, you know, because on a day-to-day, she was just an ordinary person going to work, earning some money to pay bills, buy food, send her children to school, whatever. But when she get through off of that bus, her life changed. You know, and she never even recognized at first the impact when she opened her mouth and tell Martin Luther King what was going on. She would have made in America at the time. So I write this poem as a tribute to Rosa Parks. In Montgomery, Alabama, in 1955, the civil rights movement, it came alive. Rosa Parks, a mother like you and my ma, she come out of the dark like a shining star. She challenged the system, she challenged the law. She massed up segregation and the color bar. The day she decided not to give up her seat because a swollen ankle and a swollen feet. Them dash her off the bus, them put up on the street. But when she get up, man, she blaze up a heat. Dr. King, he crusade and march, leading from the front like a burning torch. He said to boycott the system, this decision will be harsh. Respect your neighbors no matter what the cause. Don't curse an argument with the boss. The struggle is too precious, it cannot be lost. You know, so Rosa Parks. From then people start calling her to come in the schools, the colleges, the universities to talk. Rosa Parks had to go back to school and re-educate herself. You know, and I don't know if she had the intention when she was working, but after she opened her mouth. You see, basically what I'm saying is, you know, when a bully is bullying you, you can only take it for so long. And if you don't lick him or lick her down, then you have to find a way to stop them people there. You understand? So right now, we got too much bullies out there. Too much bullies out there. And bullies run after power. You know? It's like the David and Goliath story, you get me? Yeah? The big Goliath then come, you know, and little David lick him in the head and him drop. Yeah? So education to change our minds, the way we think, the way we look at people. All these things have to change. You know, when them things change, then you're gonna have love, respect, you know, big time.
Lennox, thank you so much for joining me on my conversation. And I'm looking forward to the next time that you and I pick up again, because you know that I'll always call on you to say, Lennox, come. Let's have a chat.
Come.
So thank you.
Look, thank you, yeah, man, for doing what you're doing. Some people may agree, some people may not agree. But the fact that you're doing it, you know, is important because it's a start. Yeah? So you keep doing what you're doing, same way. Yeah, man? Enough love, enough respect. Big up yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.